Imagine driving home from a long day at work, and you're tired, just on your way home, and you stop at a stoplight, and all of a sudden you're hit from behind, and as your window smashes open, smoke pours through, you smell the rubber, you realize you've been hit by a drunk driver. In 2008, 13,846 people died in the U.S. from drunk driving accidents. California had the second highest number of these fatalities at 1,198 people in the same year, according to alcoholalert.com. While these numbers have declined over the years, drunk driving is still a problem, and according to Mothers Against Drunk Driving, 3 in every 10 Americans will be involved in an alcohol-related accident. First, I will be telling you about how alcohol impairs your judgment and ability to drive, and then look at the drunk driving problem, and finally offer possible solutions. The effects of alcohol is a biophasic effect on the body, which changes over time. In small amounts, it can result in relaxation and happiness, while larger amounts can result with short-term effects of blurred vision, dehydration, and coordination problems. Long-term use can include heart disease, liver disease, and cancer. It's easy to see how these effects can impair your driving. Imagine driving without your glasses on, or after you just got off a roller coaster. Now add impaired judgment to that, and the mix you have is a dangerous cocktail of drunk driving. Alcohol also causes brain damage and memory loss. Blacking out while driving can be a very serious risk to yourself and others. Amazingly, people experiencing these effects still get behind the wheel. In 2003, 4 million people younger than 21 drove under the influence of drugs or alcohol. That's 1 in 5, according to ASAPfamily.com. These young drivers already pose dangers because they're inexperienced, and with the added alcohol brings about more danger. One drink can result in the aforementioned effects, but to reach the blood alcohol content of legal limit is of 0.08. A female needs only 3 12-ounce beers or 3 glasses of wine, while a male at 175 pounds needs 4 12-ounce beers or 4 5-ounce glasses of wine. And to lower this effect, you have to wait 1 hour for each drink you have without drinking after that. So imagine if you're at a party and you've had 5 beers, only 5 because people drink a lot nowadays, and you have to wait a whole 5 hours just to drive home. People don't do that, they just start driving and don't care. So how do we combat this problem? The simplest solution is to not drink and drive. To avoid this, you can get a designated driver or call a taxi cab. And we can all do this, and don't add to the 1 in 5 statistic. And also, police action needs to be taken, with more police presence on weekends and holidays such as today. Remember that 1 drink has that effect of impairment, so even with that 1 sip and 1 beer, you're still going to feel the effects and still not be in the right state of mind to drive. Again, these effects include impaired judgment, blurred vision, dehydration, coordination problems, and we must take into account that people under 21, 1 in 5 at that, are driving under the influence of either drugs or alcohol. And we must find safer transportation. And as Tina Pasco of Mothers Against Drunk Driving states, the only safe amount of alcohol when you are mixing drinking and driving is 0. Double zeros, no alcohol.
So, Aline, what did you think?
I thought it was good. I liked the attention device in the beginning, and I thought it was structured overall well. He looked up like every seconds or so, but not for long. He could have used with a little more eye contact to engage the audience. He had some hand gestures, and they got more extravagant as he went along. His voice didn't fluctuate very much. It didn't seem like he was very interested in his subject, but he had a lot of statistics and quotes, so that was good.
Okay. Yeah, I'd say the content stuff is okay. There's not a lot of dispute that this is a potential danger. You did a good job setting up some of the risk factors. I think you need to get a little bit more out of some of the emotional consequences there. Stories about people losing friends or family members, an illustration of somebody who thought they were okay to drive, but they actually weren't, and what some of the negative consequences are. I hope that you never have personal experiences on a subject like this that you can share, but if you did, it wouldn't be problematic to use them because that would add to that emotional appeal. It's, again, like I said about a couple of speeches earlier, it makes the argument pretty effectively. It's not that complicated an argument to make, and I thought that you did okay on it. I kind of agree with the comment Aileen made about your voice. It's low-key, you're easy to follow, and we can understand what you're saying, but there just doesn't seem to be a lot of energy in the presentation, and you're trying to get things correct, which is a good thing, but you also want to try and connect with people, and that's not always happening. Same thing with the eye contact. You do look up, but it needs to be distributed a little bit more. You need to be a little bit more engaging in the presentation. When you talk about the solutions a bit more, I think that's another place where potentially you could do things that would encourage people, especially, nobody's going to say, oh yeah, I'm going to drive drunk, thinking ahead, but how do we know, how do we stop ourselves, how do we prevent that? You mentioned, having a designated driver. Well, how do you plan on something like that? What kind of experience could you have? If you're at a party, for instance, how do you make sure that everybody gets to the party and gets home even though they've been having fun, and maybe drinking too much? I don't know that the person who puts the party together should hire a bus to carry people around, but there might be some kind of agreement that somebody's going to make sure that everybody gets home. So if you're planning on drinking, come to the party. There are probably examples of groups that organize those kinds of things, and you can tell us a little bit more about those. So it's not that what you have is problematic. There's just more, and it could be, I think, a little bit more engaging and thorough. All right. Thank you very much.